think that Bartha place or whatever it's called. Let's go there first. Then again, that's going kind of in the opposite direction from Marseille. That's the main port in France. Visit the Abbey. Let's go this way first.
We went to Barfleur, a scenic port town built on granite. It was the biggest harbour in Normandy and the main entry point for the Normans to their new possession of the Isle of England. I talked to some of the sailors and fishermen, but no one had remembered seeing Jack. How could they? Almost a year had passed since he, a simple mason, had journeyed through the busy town, a town with no memory other than that of the last king who passed through on yet another one of his violent conquests. Maybe I...
Ah. Double clicked. Okay, so we can go to Harfleur, or we can try let's go to Marseille first.
Marseille was tiny, but as it turned out, worth the trip. In the small abbey church of the Trinity, I met a monk who claimed to have talked to a man fitting Jack's description. He'd been fascinated by the abbey's rib vaulting and had asked the monks countless questions about the place's construction. The monk apologized that he couldn't tell me where Jack had traveled next, but I didn't mind. I lay down to sleep on the floor of the Abbey guest house and, for the first time in almost a year, I felt relief. As I drifted into sleep, I hugged our baby tight and whispered into his tiny pink ear, "We're going to find your daddy."
So now we can't go to Harfleur. So Le Mans St. Michael or Le Mans? Let's try there first.
My father had once told me tales of the Mont Saint-Michel. Long ago, the Archangel Michael had urged Hubert of Avranches to build an abbey on a lonely rock on the ocean by burning a hole into his head. They say one can go and see his penetrated skull on display in the church of his hometown.
That sounds healthy.
It was a windy day when I arrived, and the place was crowded with pilgrims and jongleurs. I remembered Jack's fascination with these tellers of stories. I spoke to one who was just taking a break. As it happened, he had indeed met Jack, although not in Mont Saint-Michel, but on a road heading east from there.
Oh.
Apparently, Jack had been hopelessly tracking jongleurs who might have known his father, Jack Scherberg. But as he'd been gradually running out of money, he'd intended to look for work in Le Mans or Tours. That was about 6 months ago. I was catching up.
You've been here, you think? Oh, cool. So, Le Mans or Tours?
Going to Le Mans reminded me of all the trouble I'd left behind in England. 30 years ago, Le Mans had been conquered by the Plantagenet Geoffrey of Anjou, Maud's husband. And although they'd held it ever since, other noble families kept on pulling at the city, like Maud and Stephen tearing at England.
The English Civil War was actually kind of an extension of this fight going on here with Geoffrey of Anjou and Stephen, because those two counties were fighting each other, and that's why they didn't like the idea of Maud, who is Geoffrey's wife, running England. They were like, oh hell no, that'll make them way too powerful, and that's why Stephen came over to usurp the throne.
There was no sign of Jack, but I got news of a new kind of cathedral being built in Saint-Denis, just north of Paris. It was possible that Jack had gone there to learn from the craftsmen. That was, if he hadn't travelled further south, looking for work in one of the many churches in Tours, the hometown of Saint-Martin.
Paris or Tours? I mean, Paris is further east, and if that's the direction Jack was going... And it seems to me that Jack's less interested now in stonemasoning and more looking for his dad, but he needs work. Would he have made it all the way to Paris? Probably not. He was running out of money, so... Oh, here we go. An important looking man. Seems self-assured, bit of anger on his lips though. Yeah. Angry lips. Just like in Kingsbridge, though the design looks very different. Almost another world. Yeah. Like the ones Tom used to make back in Kingsbridge. Everything feels so far away now. Oh, little birdie. Hello, Burb. Aren't they usually round? Never seen them like this. Well, let's talk to the angry man.
Good day. Are you the master builder?
What is it?
I'm looking for a mason who may have passed through here. An Englishman with carroty hair. He calls
Carroty
himself
hair.
Jack Jackson.
He's ginger. Kids can be wanting a PlayStation by the time they find the father.
Yes. Did you see him? He might have asked for work here.
No, I'm not looking for new masons. We're just doing repairs.
Ah, but was he here?
No, never seen him. Now, stand back, woman. Something could fall on your baby's head.
He seemed very unsure of that.
Are there other construction sites around Tours?
Well, yes. It's a big town.
And where would an outsider most likely find a job?
Dunno. Ask around.
You hesitated when I mentioned a redhead. Are you sure you haven't seen him?
Yes, I am sure.
May I talk to your workers?
No, they're busy. And I can assure you they have nothing to say on that matter.
Perhaps I'll talk to them once they've finished for the day.
It would be a waste of time.
Yeah, sketchy as fuck.
All right, he was here. Was working for me. But I had to throw him out after
Green's
2 or 3
acting
days.
kinda sus.
Why?
Because he was all want. Let me redesign the roof. Let me make the nave lighter. All pretty ideas, but he never shut up long enough to do the work he was supposed to do.
Sounds like Jack.
Shit, that man was almost as needy as my son when he was still a brat.
He does know a lot about his craft.
Well, I know masons like him. They grow up gifted, but without a mote of discipline in their guts. Can't work with someone like that.
Do you know where he went next?
No idea. Maybe to Limoges or Angoulême. Maybe even to La Rochelle. Seemed to have plans for every cathedral on God's green earth, but none for himself.
I understand. I'll leave you to it then.
Bon voyage.
What an arsehole. So one of these. Well, that's closer. Important and free port town. Another site with another cathedral. And a flourishing artistic centre. Let's go here first.
We had just left Tours
Ah.
when I suddenly felt dizzy. I stopped and made rest, trying to catch my breath, then lost my breakfast in a ditch at the side of the road. To my horror, our baby too had grown pale, his breath shallow like that of an old man. I tried not to panic, but the next inn was a long distance away and we couldn't stay on the road where it was wet and cold.
I guess we're going here instead.
I managed to walk until the sun had fully risen before I keeled over.
Okay.
A knife merchant who'd been travelling behind me flagged down a coach heading back to Tor and haggled with the coachman to carry me back to an inn.
Oh, okay, we're going back to Tor then.
Back in
Oh,
Tor,
dear.
the fever got worse. I remember people carrying me into a room, laying me on a bed. I tried to feed my baby, but after that, everything turned into a blur. When I awoke, Jack was standing next to my bed. He scolded me for following him. "You know you could go anywhere you want," he whispered. "Why be stupid and follow me?" I tried to answer, but he just opened the window and jumped out, heading toward ancient Greece, or maybe all the way to Arabia. And in my feverish mind, I followed him.
Okay, so now we're hallucinating, I guess. Go to Greece. Birthplace of philosophy, or Arabia, the cradle of civilization.
The further I went, the angrier I got. For years, I'd been fighting for my family. I'd committed myself to an oath to my father. I'd built up a business to sustain it, and even married a man I despised so I could create a future for the people around me. I'd known nothing but my duty to the men in my life, while the man I was trying to find lived a life of casual irresponsibility. He traveled the world on a whim to learn about mathematics and philosophy, while I had to raise the child he'd fathered. When could I ever do anything just for myself? I asked the world as I went on.
She's getting all philosophical now. Back to Kingsbridge? Okay. Okay. Kingsbridge it is.
I travelled in a circle all the way to the edge of the world and back, only to return to the place of our failure. With my eyes closed, I listened to the sound of ripping yarn and crumbling walls, and of coaches carrying good people away into a cloud of crimson dust.
This is a weird dream. Oh,
When
yeah.
the last moat had settled, I opened my eyes again and found myself in a dirty little room. An old maid was sitting next to my bed and smiled at me, then handed me my baby. Oh, dear God, he still looked so pale. I tried to feed him, but he refused. Oh, please, God, let him live. Don't punish him for my own sins. I gently caressed his head until finally he put his mouth to my breast and drank more and more, becoming greedier with every swallow. We had both been spared. We rested one more day. Then I gathered my things and headed back to the cathedral to thank the Lord for his mercy.
Why do I get the feeling we're going to find Jack at the cathedral? Oh, this one. Okay, probably not. The statue of the Mother Mary. A good place to say my prayer.
I thank you, dear Lord.
All right,
I
steady
thank
now.
you for having spared my child. I thank you for...
Don't let go until it's done.
But why are you showing mercy on me? I failed
Okay.
everyone I cared about. I failed Jack. I failed my brother. And if I never return, I would also break the oath I had given Father. It's just that I feel like I've never had a life of my own. I've always fought for others. And this may be the very first time that I fight for something that I only want for myself. Maybe I should just go back and help rebuild Kingsbridge. Maybe Jack doesn't even care for me anymore. Amen.
Good prayer. Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, a coracle. It's like the ones that he was carving. What is this? I get the feeling that thing that got hoisted up there is going to fall on us.
I've
better
seen
not.
one of those before.
It's amazing, isn't it? The man who did that really had it in him.
I agree. He always did.
Oh, you knew Master Jacques.
Jacques.
Yes, but it's been a while since I last saw him.
It's a shame that the Master let him go. In just 1 month, he did so many things.
The Master Builder said
Yeah, he
he
said 3
fired
days.
him after just 3 days.
Did he? Well, maybe that's how he remembers it. The two didn't really see eye to eye, you know? To tell you the truth, everyone thinks that he feared for his own job having someone like that around. The last thing Jack did was carve that corbel.
Yeah,
It
he
was
would
the
have not
one
wanted
thing
him
the
around.
Master let him do. Then when he was done, he was asked to leave.
Your master said he had no discipline.
Let me tell you something. Jacques worked very hard on it. He was impatient and had a temper, but you could see that he tried to overcome it. Conquering that rock was very important to him.
Oh, I understand that so well. Do you happen to know where he went next?
He wanted to walk the pilgrim trail to Santiago de Compostela.
The Camino? The Way of St. James?
He said he might find someone there who knew his father.
Just one more thing. How was he when he left?
Never thought about that. Relieved, I guess. He seemed ready for something new.
Thank you so much for your help.
Think nothing of it. And good luck on your travels. May you find what you are looking for.
Okay, good. I'm glad the thing didn't fall on us.
Isn't it odd? Just when you stop looking, you come across the most curious of things. Like these 3 devices that one of my merchants brought back from Baghdad.
I thought these were 3 very tall men then standing in front of the
Is
woman.
it another one of your Banu Musa toys, Rashid?
They're not toys, Adriel. They're objects of scholarly ingenuity and reflection.
I will let my valued friend from the north do the honors. Jack, if you may.
What am I doing? A Jew, a Muslim, and a converted Christian.
Draw your
It's like a
attention
bad
to
joke.
the
Yet their
magnificent
quarrels are always
songbird
playful,
on the
full of wisdom and curiosity.
And then to that one
I don't get it.
donkey next to the entrance.
Where's the punchline? It is a donkey from a country far east of here,
Although
runs with
most
water
astounding
alone.
thing of all stands right between them.
That statuette.
Ah, precisely. But one thing at a time. Let us let Jack decide what to demonstrate first.
Yeah, what am I supposed to be doing? Just demonstrating these toys? To perfectly into a device can be removed easily, usually holds water. Oh, look at the lady.
On second thought, why don't you save the lady for last?
Yeah, they walk into a bar. Yeah.
Otherwise, the other 2 devices might appear bland and boring in comparison.
I agree.
Songbird device. Another new thing. And a bowl of water. Water to cool off in the afternoon. Too heavy to carry around. So can I use this container? Get water. I guess we have to heat it up with the candle.
Likes to take his time, doesn't he?
And now? Now, Jack will heat the water in the tank.
Yes. And then it goes in the donkey, I'm guessing. 'Cause I'll just put this in my pocket. This lit candle.
It's so beautiful it will make you cry. Just listen.
Oh, is it like a steam-operated music box? Aha. The Banu Musa. The Banu Musa brothers were 3 scholars of Persian descent who lived in Baghdad in the 9th century. They are known for the Book of Ingenious Devices, a large illustrated collection of mechanical appliances and automata. These automata were largely designed for entertainment but featured innovative engineering. These brothers also wrote books on astronomy, astrology, geometry, the last of which had a great influence on both Islamic and European mathematicians.
Well, how marvelous!
How does it work?
Maybe it's a miracle.
Right.
Go on, Jack. Tell them.
It is possessed by an evil spirit and must burn it.
There's a hidden wheel inside the box. It turns an axle that in return raises and drops a sequence of small cylinders inside. These cylinders work like fingers playing a flute.
But who is blowing into the flute?
Steam.
Steam?
Yes. When I opened the pipe, it gradually pushed itself into the tube.
The power of steam. For once, I must agree. This is brilliant.
Of course! It was created by a Muslim after all.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. What else have you got, Rashid?
Anyone care for some tea?
Thank you, my daughter. We will have some as soon as Jack has finished our presentation.
Mind if I watch?
Of course not.
So, who is this man, Rashid?
Jack is a friend of the house.
What do they want me to demonstrate now, I
A
wonder?
brilliant man, a scholar and a talented artist.
She brought tea, but of course
Just
that's just a
other
pretense.
he
She's too
expected
clever.
you
This is an
to
excuse to listen.
Don't let me distract you, Jack.
What is that?
What am I supposed to do
A
now?
Greek
Oh,
who wrote a book called The Elements of Geometry. The Egyptians translated it into Arabic.
no, it's too heavy.
Now the Englishmen are turning it into Latin.
it won't let me do the statuette. I guess we're doing the container again. Oh, we can probably just pour the water into the donkey, right?
I could watch this man scoop up water all day.
Well then. Jack, you've pulled. And...
Now watch the head. Just any moment now. There. Did you see?
what?
It threw up.
Blip.
Rashid, this is disgusting.
The barfing donkey.
Oh, far from it. Would you kindly explain how it works, Jack?
What did it do? It is pure magic.
You see that bowl floating on top of the water? At the bottom of that bowl is a small hole. Through it, the bowl is slowly filled with liquid. Once it's full, it sinks, pulling a string which makes the ball drop onto a weight. This, in return, pulls the bowl up again, emptying it in the process.
Thus resetting the entire mechanism.
If you timed it perfectly, you could make it drop a ball at every hour.
Turning it into a clock. How clever.
For me, it's still nothing more than a puking donkey.
Show us more, Rashid.
One could join those two and build a singing donkey clock. One song after every hour.
That would be pretty clever.
I know, right? You could be the one to build it.
Oh, that would be unfair. It's your invention.
I would let you have it. Or we design it together.
Oh my. Dad's like, no.
You still haven't shown us that statuette yet.
Of course. Jack, if you may. Oh, you will love this. Just watch.
Do I fill this with water as well, or need to put it somewhere cold? Where is cold? Definitely not there. It's in a shady spot. Aha! To the table.
And now?
Just be patient, but don't look away. It takes some time for her to...
To do what?
Gonna fling that robe off.
Is it crying?
Isn't that amazing?
Okay.
No, it's irritating. Rashid, what is going on?
Condensation, probably. Oh, we don't know. Hey, Centrifugal Force, how's it going? Yeah, medieval Barbie makeover.
We have no idea how it works.
Rashid, please.
We all know that there is no such thing as a man-made miracle.
And this piece of wood is very clearly made by man.
I very much agree, my friends. But so far, none of us has an explanation.
All we know for certain is that her glassy eyes shed tears when you move her from warmth into cold.
Like a plant at sunrise. Like dew. The only difference is the surface. That's all.
My microphone keeps picking the game up. What if my filters need adjusting again? Hey, Rashid, what the fuck is this?
I think you may be onto something.
Am I? Of course, I had no intention of disturbing your conversation. But if you can find out why there's dew gathering on a plant, you may understand
Oh,
why
I
that
know what it
woman
is.
is
It's
so
my
weak.
fan.
So, who wants a cup of tea?
I'll have some.
Your daughter is quite something, Rashid. A scholar in her own right.
I know. I'd rather she wasn't. It would make marrying her off so much easier.
Whoa, wow.
I'm certain that won't stay a problem for long.
Maybe the dew originates from invisible water in the air. Water that stays hidden when it's hot.
Well, that was weird and interesting. I don't know why we're doing this particular scene. What has this got to do with anything?
The pilgrim trails across France converged at Osterbat, in the foothills of the Pyrenees. There, the group of 20 or so pilgrims who had been travelling alongside me since I'd left Tours swelled to about 70. Some were prosperous citizens, some probably on the run from justice. A few drunks, and several monks and clergymen.
Probably to see Jack
Several
found a new
languages were
love.
spoken, including
Yeah,
Flemish,
probably.
a German tongue, and a southern French language called Oc. Nevertheless, there was no lack of communication among them, and as we crossed the Pyrenees, they sang, played games, told stories, and in several cases had love affairs.
Ooh,
While my baby
saucy.
and I kept mostly to ourselves.
Yeah. None of that thank you, it's got me in enough trouble.
Ganz schön frech, die mit ihrem Kind.
Hush now.
Richtig dreist. Kann ein Mann nicht einfach mal seine Ruhe haben? Der Weg aus Babenberg war doch anstrengend genug.
Oh boy, that didn't help. Maybe that did.
Ein Kind hat ja auch gar nichts verloren. Stimmt doch, oder?
Jetzt ist's aber gut.
Sorry about my baby.
I'm sorry. He has to cry himself out before he'll fall asleep. It will give you a strong voice one day, won't it? Do you have children?
Keep talking to them.
How long have you been traveling to get here? I met pilgrims from as far east as Franconia. I am sorry. We'll go
Yeah.
for a walk so you can get some rest.
Yeah, they're not impressed. Some of the wood was already here for all the pilgrims who passed through. I don't understand them. Is that a German tongue? Yeah. No, tomorrow I'll leave across the bridge. Let's go down the riverside then. The town was granted bridge privileges, so all pilgrims must pass through here. The town's merchants profit greatly. Aww, that poor soul. Maybe I can help her somehow?
Dear Lord, what are you doing? You should get out of the water. It's freezing.
My ring! I lost my ring! Dear Lord, please show mercy.
Oh man. Most pilgrims stay near the spring in town. Thought this river would be quieter. Now I'm the one making all the noise. Search for the ring. Maybe it fell into the brush?
Where are you? Where did you go?
There's nothing in there either. Oh, I see a sparkly. Aha! There it is.
I found it.
Yes! Oh, thank you! Thank you so much! You are a very kind woman. So very, very kind.
I'm glad I could help.
Yes, yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Are you getting warmer?
Thank you.
I can see this ring is very precious to you.
It was a gift from my stepmother. She thought I would stay forever, but I didn't.
Why did you leave?
Oh, I thought I didn't belong. She always said I was her daughter, but I was sure she was lying. I was so selfish and so stupid. Too stupid to see I really was happy.
Tell me about your stepmother.
She was such a kind woman. So very, very kind.
Maybe you really weren't happy.
I don't know. I was very young and thought I was unhappy because I didn't live close to the sea. But in the end, the sea did not feel the same about me. The cold there made me sick. It took away my sight.
It was courageous of you to leave. You did what your heart told you to.
I was stupid. So stupid.
Ah, that's why you went on the pilgrimage.
Yes, so that St. James might see my devotion, and I will be united with my mother in heaven. I'm just not as kind as you. Not kind at all.
You're too hard on yourself.
I don't know.
I, too, am trying to make amends with the one man I loved the most. I was told he went straight to Santiago.
You will know soon.
Not soon enough. It's still 4 weeks till I get there.
He'll be there, I'm sure of it.
I hope so. I just feel that with every day that passes, I'm losing him a bit more. And that the only thing I can allow myself still to hope for is not love, but forgiveness.
I understand.
Hey, hush now. Not long now and our journey will be over,
Yeah, but you found a new girl, so... El Camino de Santiago is known as the Way of St. James. It's a Christian pilgrimage route to the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela, where the remains of Jesus' apostle St. James the Greater were presumably put to rest. The pilgrimage to Santiago, besides Jerusalem and Rome, is one of the most important pilgrimages in Christianity. It is believed to be one of the only ways to free a pilgrim of their sins. By the 12th century, it had become a well-organized undertaking. There were tour buses and everything. Even a book was written as a travel guide for the pilgrims, the Codex Calixtinus, supporting the pilgrims in completing their travel. The scallop shell is used to guide the pilgrims on their way and serves as a symbol of St. James and of the Camino, because at the end of their travel, the pilgrims will almost have reached the ocean. Interesting.
The woman's name was Alba. She came from a small town somewhere in Catalonia. I quickly got used to her constantly feeling out for her stepmother's ring and the sad guilt that would always follow in her milky eyes.
Maybe she should just keep it somewhere where she won't lose it, like in a pouch.
I wasn't sure if she appreciated my company, but I couldn't leave her on her own either. By the time we reached Los Arcos, she'd stopped talking, while I kept on dropping a kind word here and there to let her know I was still by her side.
Or on her finger, yeah. I would imagine that she's losing it because it's on her finger and maybe it doesn't really fit anymore, like if she's become too, like, thin and gaunt or whatever, if her hands have thinned out and then it's dropping off all the time. She could just put it on like a leather thong or something and wear it around her neck, you know, and she would never lose it.
Alba believed herself to be of weak mind and body, and yet she walked the Camino with a strong sense of purpose that willed her onward. It made me wonder about what I'd told her about my own journey. Did I hope for love, or was I really traveling because I needed him to forgive me? But what was there to forgive? My decision to marry Alfred had been in the best interest of the people of Shiring. It was a sacrifice I had to make to stop the evil reign of William Hamley. These questions had haunted me for a long time now. But if I really was going to see Jack soon, it was time to make up my mind. Around Lyon, the path began to gradually turn uphill. It was only 2 more weeks till we'd reached Santiago. The baby was in a good mood, and so, surprisingly, was Alba. After Astorga, the trail got more difficult. Alba became slower and slower, and we had to rest more. She became quiet again. The strain on her old body grew, and she worried that she might not be able to reach the end. Still, we managed to push onward. The next morning, she refused to get up. Her breathing was disturbingly shallow, and she hardly noticed me touching her forehead. Everything hurts, she said, and urged me to continue without her.
No.
Of course, I stayed with her. I brought her food and water and sat by her side. But day after day, her condition grew worse. She kept on urging me to go, to find Jack, saying the monks of Ponferrada would take care of her.
Oh, okay.
I was about to leave when a monk stopped me. He urged me to stay at least for another day, and feeling that he was right, I remained.
Probably because he knows that in a day she might be gone.
I'd hardly known her, and most of the time she'd tried to push me away, as if she considered herself a nuisance that slowed me down and who didn't deserve company. It wasn't until a few moments before she died that, for the first time, she smiled at me, and I like to believe that she saw me smile back. I still like to believe that here, in this unlikely place, dying next to a near stranger, she'd found a moment of serenity and happiness, but she'd not reached Santiago. When I left, that thought still haunted me. To see that a journey could come to an end so suddenly. But what would be different if she had reached Santiago? Could she have been disappointed by what she found? After months of hard travel, the child and I finally reached Santiago de Compostela. In the evening, we attended Mass in the great cathedral, then started to roam the town looking for my dear Jack. It was almost dawn when finally a priest pointed me to an inn close by.
Doggy! Can I pet the doggy? This is important to me. I can't pet the doggy. A resting pilgrim, for the night air is mild and the sun will go up soon. Rat. Ugh. Rat. Someone left them here or forgot them. Another group of drunk pilgrims. How holy. She must see many people pass by. I'm getting closer.
Buenos dias. Do you understand me?
Sinto ben, pero non temos camas dispoñibles.
No, I don't need a room. I was told a friend of mine stayed here some time ago. A red-haired Englishman called Jack. Do you remember him?
Eu só che falo en galego, miña rula.
Français? English?
No, then. Oh, man. So, I'm just going to move out of the way. These little clues that keep popping up down here, this one's partially rubbed out because I'm starting to forget the details of his face, it's saying. That's pretty cool. Like, she doesn't even remember what he looks like now. What is this, by the way? Oh, his favorite book. Yeah, I could stab this woman, take over her inn. No, let's not.
I'm looking for a man who likes to read a lot.
You might just
E
think,
logo anda sempre cun libro en riba.
Have you
would you
seen
like to
anyone
read
like
my
that?
book?
Pero, por que levas un libro en riba? Basta escangallar co peso.
She doesn't even understand that I'm looking for a person yet.
Yeah, that wasn't really going to work. I'll show her a book, then she'll understand what I'm doing. No. Another cathedral. Jack may have been there, he never gets tired of them. So, yeah, there's a fireplace, cozy and warm. Get warm. There's nothing else we can do, though. There are jars, fireplace, her, the inn, dude. How do we deal with this? Oh, show her the baby. Have you seen a red head?
Oh, que cousiña. Eche rubio.
See, redhead.
Have you seen another ginger?
Have you seen his father, Padre del Nino? Jack Jackson?
Ven sendo un peregrino.
What?
É un peregrino.
Oh, no, no. He's not a pilgrim.
Entón, quen ven sendo?
Jongleur or a mason? Let's go with the mason still for now, because he
He's a
might still be
mason.
playing that trade.
Ai, mal rayo, me partas entendo o que me estás a contar.
If I point to the cathedral, she'll think he's a monk. Well, he was, briefly.
He's a jongleur, a storyteller.
Ai, na miña hospedaría non vai quedar jonglar algún.
She don't like
Xa temos
jongleurs.
jonglares dabondo por aquí. Téñenme ata o curuto.
She angry? No, then.
You don't seem to like jongleurs, do you? Oh, is there someone inside who might be able to translate for us?
Nena, que temer que quen te entenda.
A translator? A guest?
Agora mesmo estanche todos a dormir. Case che diría que volvas mañá pola mañá.
Alright. Point to something. Hi, Felix!
Let's show you something.
How's it going? I could have a point to the cathedral, the inn. Point at jars. There's nothing here that speaks to stonemasoning. So let's try pointing to the cathedral. See what that does. How is it going, Felix? Hope you're doing good today.
He's a mason. He builds things like that.
Oh, you got job interviews next week?
Eche
good stuff.
masón. Albanel.
Sí, a mason. It's the same word in Galician.
Por aquí pasan unha morea de masóns. Non me poderías dicir algo máis sobre el?
Oín falar dun masón que dis que se dedica a traducir libros en Toledo.
Polo visto, di que se chama Jack.
Yes, Jack. Have you seen him?
Non sei cal será o seu apelido, pero ben é certo que non chai moitos masóns rubios aos que lles guste ler. Se tan desesperada está, por que non vai a Toledo a comprobalo por si mesma?
Entón, marchou para Toledo.
Went to Toledo? Is that what they were saying?
He went to Toledo?
A Toledo marchou, sí.
Di que o teu Jack podería estar en Toledo.
All right, so I will go to Toledo then. Gracias. I just pray that I understood you correctly.
Yes. Explain the plot so far. Oh my goodness. So yeah, you've missed quite a bit, Felix. So since the last game, in the last sort of book, we had a problem with the building of the cathedral where Prior Philip had to go and get a market license. The Hamleys, who were running the earldom, the parents died and William took over, and the bishop was pulling his strings, the one who doesn't like us because we've stepped on his toes. He's now found a way to screw with the building of the cathedral so that he can keep all the resources for his castle. The thing is, he had targeted them because they were having a market and they didn't have a license. So we went to the king, King Stephen, for a license for the market. He said no, and then the Battle of Lincoln took place where King Stephen was captured by Robert the Bastard and then put Maud on the throne for a while. So she's now ruling England at this point in the timeline. But she gave the cathedral the license for a market. When they held it, and held a fleece fair as well, William Hamley, the bastard arsehole guy, showed up and just burned the place down and that kind of thing, killed a bunch of people and rode off. They stole the remains of the saint as well that was underneath the cathedral at Kingsbridge. So yeah, was this originally a novel? Yes, this was a series of 3 novels, I believe, and they were very well acclaimed by an author called Ken Follett, a Welsh author. So anyway, yeah, that all happened and everything just got destroyed. And for some reason, Jack eventually got drafted into becoming a monk, and he kind of went along with it, but still thinking he could have like some kind of life with Aliena, but he couldn't. So she, needing some kind of livelihood now that the wool trade was probably destroyed because William Hamley would not let her just have anything, you know, he was just like a spoiled brat smashing up her toys. He basically then so she basically then married Alfred, the dumbass, Tom Builder's son. And Jack then went to go kill Alfred and then got locked up in a cell, and then he escaped, and now he's traveling Europe. So she's looking for him because she's also got Jack's baby. She gave birth to Jack's baby after she married Alfred, and they never did it. So, and the baby's a redhead, so it's obviously Jack's. So yeah, she's left now looking for him as well, and that's kind of where we're at right now. A lot of other little things happened in between, but that's the general gist of what's happening. He thought he could become a monk and keep a lady friend. Bad news for you. Yep. I mean, he's like, yes, I'm a monk, but yes, we could get married still and do things. Maybe I don't become a monk or whatever. And she's like, no, I need to support my brother retaking shiring from Earl Hamley and that kind of stuff. And she can't do that with him no matter what. And oh yeah, and then part of the cathedral crumbled away because Alfred took over as the builder when Tom got hurt during the attack and very badly injured and couldn't really run things anymore. And he built a stone roof like an idiot, and part of the wall caved down. So Yeah, he's now building the cathedral at Shiring instead. They thought it would be a great idea to hire him for Bishop Waleran's, or Waleran, or however it's pronounced, his cathedral in Shiring. That's going to end badly. About a month after leaving the Compostela. You did miss a lot, yes. It's a fast-moving story in a way. Because there's not a lot of, like, idle stuff to do between just getting big gobs of story. It's just all story, all time.
Buenos dias. Parlez-vous français? English?
Of course. How may I help you?
I was told a man named Jack Jackson lives in this house.
Who told you this?
A group of scholars living at the edge of town. They said he used to translate old scriptures about mathematics before he moved here.
Please wait here. I will talk with Master Rashid.
Aha, so we are in the right place. We saw Rashid earlier. And yeah, this is when we find out he's either shacked up with Rashid's daughter, which is probably not going to be the case. He didn't seem to be all that enthused about it anyway. So maybe he's been foisted out. So big and light, nothing like the houses at home. What is taking the servants so long? They remind me of the cloister at Kingsbridge, only that these keep away the good and not the bad. Oh, lizard! Take a peek inside. Did we finish the longest journey? Yes, we did. We finished that a week today. Ago today, actually. Yeah, last Friday. Alright, let's have a peek inside. Oh. I see Jack's sling.
It's his.
Jack is here, and this is the proof I need. Oh, here we go. The young woman, the landlord's daughter. She's pretty. ... Yeah.
Oh, there you are. May I ask who let you stroll around our house?
I travelled hundreds of miles looking for a man called Jack Jackson. A scholar told me that I would find him here.
Yes, my servant told me already. My father's not here at the moment, so you'll have to make do with me.
Oh boy.
Unfortunately, I must disappoint you. There's no one called Jack living in this house.
Maybe he took a different name then.
Yeah, she might get accused of theft now. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but this is not easy for any of us. I think you should know that Jack and I are promised to each other.
Oh boy.
Maybe we should go inside. The sun's burning, and my mother doesn't need to hear us.
Oh boy. She's now pilfering, punishable by death.
Jack told me about you. You are Aliena. You're the one who rejected him and married his stepbrother. And now you want him back.
I need my son to meet his father.
His father? The little one is Jack's son.
Yes, you can tell by the hair.
He is.
He always said that he had come here to find out about his family. But instead, he found out about everything else. About philosophy, mathematics. When he and my father met, it was love at first sight.
There goes that
They
marriage.
studied together and made great plans. But in the end, Jack would always start talking about his cathedral again. This great church he would build one day. Ribbed vaults and pointed windows. He'd ramble on about it for hours and stare up at that ceiling. We three sat here for hours and talked. And then in the evenings, it would be just the two of us. So many strange ideas about the future. Some barely more than silly dreams. Others almost in arm's reach.
Maybe he doesn't really want to be with her. Yeah, you're talking about him as if he's gone. That's the thing as well.
You're talking about him as if he were gone.
Well, he's not here anymore. My father had offered him work as a master builder here in Toledo. He would have been well off and free to spend his evenings under vaults like this, with me as his wife. But in the end, he refused.
Swear to God, if he went back to Kingsbridge.
Did you really marry his stepbrother?
Yeah. It was a mistake.
It was a mistake. I know that now. I did it to fulfill a promise I'd made to my father. I thought I had no choice. I didn't want to hurt him. Believe me.
I do. You know, he left me because of you.
He went back to look for you.
Even after all you did to him, he couldn't let go.
Oh my God, he did go back,
You
didn't
can
he?
be glad that you ran into me and not my mother. She was enraged when he left.
He can have that effect on people.
But apart from that, we made our peace with him. Father even gave him one of his favorite pieces of his collection as a parting gift. A small wooden statue with stone eyes in exchange for his slingshot.
Oh, we
Do
just...
you mind telling me where he went?
The one we just took, sorry.
He went to Paris.
Should give it back.
To work on the Cathedral of Saint-Denis.
God damn it, he went to Paris eventually.
He said he never found out about his father, so there was no reason to stay down here anymore.
Paris?
He just
Yes.
came through friends, for fuck's sake.
If you find him there, tell him I don't miss him.
Oh, damn. Thanks, all the best.
Thank you, and all the best to your family.
Thank you. What is the child's name, by the way?
Oh, yeah. Does she...
He has none yet. I wouldn't name him without Jack.
Isn't that a bit silly?
Maybe. But he's his son as well as mine. It's his right to have a say in it too.
Then off to Paris. That baby needs a name.
He
Tell him
will
I
get
burned
one.
all his shit.
Thank you.
You like that the baby has pitch black skin. If you're talking about like underneath the ginger hair at the back, that's actually just the back of the hair because for some reason they've shaded it in black. It's the same on Jack's character. It's like it's ginger on top but then black on like the undercut or something. Which is a bit weird, but...
I travelled back along the way of St. James, passing through Astorga, Lyon and Burgos. I crossed the Pyrenees, revisiting Bordeaux, Angoulême, Poitiers, but never stayed longer than one night. The closer I came to Paris, the stronger my old doubts and fears resurfaced.
Yeah, she's walking like all over the place.
If Jack really was there, what was I to say to him?
I brought your slingshot back. That's what we'll say to him. Sure, I would slap him, pull him very close. We would have to sit down and talk. Yes.
We had to hear each
This is
other out
complicated.
before we could walk on again, in whatever direction that would be.
Mm-hmm. Three months later, Jesus. There it is, Paris. I mean, she probably caught like carriages and stuff as well part way, and it's a pilgrim route, so it's not like she's walking across open countryside. Oh my god, is he working on the basilica? Damn. Yeah, to be fair, the Jews walked for 40. Yes. I mean, they made him of sterner stuff back then as well, remember? These days, some people struggle to walk to the shops, let alone 3 months across Spain and France. Alright, so, guys, it's break time. Hi guys, welcome back. Alright, let's go look for a man to wrap a ball and chain around his ankle. I mean, show him that he has a kid. He's not here. Maybe he's not here at all. No. Blah, blah, blah. Construction site. The whole cathedral construction site. Could he really be here? Another corbel. It's like the one he made previously. Really? Kind of looks like him. I mean, that's like his clothing, right? It is! It's Jack! Colourful light from the windows. It's beautiful and breathtaking.
There. Are we awake then?
Found him.
You almost missed this. Look at these colourful windows. Look at the light.
He's like, oh, I know that voice. He's like,
Ali.
We came to see you, Jack.
We? Is he?
He is your son.
responsibility.
My son?
I'm sorry.
It's not your fault. Ali, where do we go from here?
Wherever we go, I want to go with you.
Will you marry me? Both of you.
You want to marry your son?
We will.
I'm not sure that's legal. It got weird incredibly
we stayed
fast.
in Paris as husband and wife.
Okay,
and our
interesting.
son, Tommy.
It's
The
France,
days
I
went
mean,
by
come
quickly. Jack had learned much working as a builder.
Just
in
kidding,
Saint-Denis.
French people.
Days became months. Then after a year, we both grew restless.
How sweet.
Where
I
can we
know.
go from here? We asked ourselves again. We both confessed that we wanted to see our families, our friends.
Back to
And then we knew
Kingsbridge.
where we wanted to go. Home. Even if it was in shambles.